welcome back. I am Sakura and I'd like to start off this video by thanking both Colossal Order and Paradox Interactive for giving me access to the new Plazas and Promenades DLC. So what we're looking to do today is we're looking to just go mad in this DLC. We're going to look at everything that I can find. We're going to show you exactly what is being given to us. We've seen a lot already based on what they've put out live, but this is going to be from my point of view and how I've got into it, I've had to play, and there's some real cool stuff in it. So I'm going to split this up. I might end up putting it all into one video eventually, but to start off with, I'm going to split it up. And so in this one, this is part one, we're going to be looking at the maps. There are 5 maps available. You know how much I like 5s. There are 5 available and they look absolutely amazing. So shall we get into it? Have a quick look at the maps and then let's go from there. Okay, so first up is Cape Apple. Cape Apple is an amazing map. Just look at that bridge. I absolutely love this one. It's really nice. It's got, to be honest though, as much as it is nice, and it is a very standard looking intersection there to come into, something we've seen a billion times. Nothing special there. Good outside road connectivity. I found there's a nice road that goes right through the middle, which is always good, so it enables you to get your trains and your traffic in there. Absolutely no problem. These factories though, I have to mention these factories, they're going to be quite common throughout the whole of this. We're going to see them a lot and they drive me insane. There they are in the background, just factories. Really good coverage of trees, very vanilla, but then this is a vanilla map, but really well done. Lots of extra features they've added into it and lots of pre-made stuff, which is amazing. Okay, so next up we've got Coastal Gem. This is, in my view, a coastal gem. I absolutely love this map, and I'm going to say it a lot, but look at that. That intersection is just phenomenal. That is something only detailers really get, and this is done in vanilla. There's a lot of vanilla details out there you can learn from this. It's absolutely amazing. It looks phenomenal. I'm really impressed. This is the only thing issue I've got with this whole map. This train track just goes nowhere. Not sure why. It's not even in the starting square, but most train tracks aren't. But this is what I mean by this coastal gem. Look at this coastline. It is absolutely gorgeous. We'll ignore them factories. I'm going to have to ignore them a lot, but they are going to drive me insane otherwise, but we'll ignore the factories. But yeah, that coastline looks amazing. The islands out there, fantastic. This is by hands down an absolutely amazing map. I do like it. Lots of space to build on. A lot of these maps are quite flat, which is quite good. Okay, next up is Gondola Islands. Now, it's exactly as it sounds. It's a bunch of islands, but it does look absolutely amazing. It really does. One thing I will mention though is those bridges, they do kind of go up, but that's to let the boats go underneath. Good detail is going to move them and make them look good. I love those train tracks. The intersection there for the trains are great, but those factories, 3 factories this time. I'm not too sure if I like that. They're everywhere. But just look at these islands outside of this. You've got the main map with the rivers flowing in and out of there, but then these little islands around here with additional rivers going through. You've got to think about the ferry rides, the boat rides around this, how scenic this will be. It's very flat, but let's get some terraforming in there and this will be phenomenal. It's a very nice map, absolutely lovely. The connections are a little bit hit and miss, but then it's all islands, so you kind of expect that a little bit. But otherwise, it's a fantastic map. I don't like the fact that I now see 4 chimneys in the background. Those factories are going to drive me insane by the end of this video. Okay, next up is Oracle Lake. Oracle Lake is a very standard style map, to be honest with you. You've got your box standard interchange there. Really is nothing special. One thing I do love about this is the first one is pretty hilly. Now, it does give that nice lake feature in the middle, which is great. And that's really good for people playing on console or vanilla. So remember, all the stuff's going to be available for everybody, so it's really nice to be able to get in here and do stuff. I do like this, although I didn't like the fact that it didn't go off the edge. I think that would have been a little bit better there. But anyway, it is a little lake that runs in, or river, that runs into the main lake in the middle of the area that's surrounded all by the cliffs there. It does look really nice. I do like it, but it's not my favourite out of all 5 of them. My favourite is yet to come. Mainly because, yes, a big map, this is the only water connection. It's not a lot, to be honest with you. They all kind of come in here, they go into this little river. There's a whole side of the map with no water connection. It kind of gives you just the one place to build your harbour or your pier, cargoes, that type of thing. Doesn't really leave a lot of open space to anyone else. Again, as they always do, they put random details throughout the map. Castle ruins here, little bits and bobs here, rocks, all sorts of stuff everywhere, as they do, just to give you that vanilla feel. What makes the vanilla map so good, the ability to be able to go in, have a lot of detail already in place and build around it to make that map yours and build it into your surroundings. Such a cool thing to do. Now again, one good thing this map does have going through it, apart from the cliffs and the hills, the big mountains, are the variety of trees. I mean, it's good variety. I absolutely do love it. And also this bridge. I know it's a vanilla bridge, but it just looks perfect there. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay, so this next one I spent ages trying to figure out the name. It's Splits Trabinati Tarara. I'm not even going to bother trying. I really do not get it, but something about this map I think is amazing. That intersection just looks very plain, very boring, but it comes from something that's so cool. It's the first intersection in the entire of the 5 maps to use the brand new roads, and those roads are amazing. They've got bus lanes on our highways, freeways, whatever you want to call them. Expressways even. Now your buses can finally use those main roads to get between towns, several cities, several areas. Again, as always, factories have made an appearance. Yeah. The first thing I'm going to do when I log into this is delete the factories, to be honest. Anyway, this is my favourite map. I absolutely love it. I think it's phenomenal. There's so much cool stuff in there. The scenery looks amazing, the landscaping looks amazing, the choice of trees is fantastic. It's not many of them, but the way they do it and the way they plan them down is amazing. All 5 maps are fantastically done, and I do recommend having a look at them. But they'll all be coming live in the next DLC when it does come live. Now this is cool. 2 castles either side of the road. Now I know I interrupted what I was saying about this DLC, but I couldn't help it. Those castles look amazing, they're redone, and the whole map just looks fantastic. This is definitely my favourite. Now I've got my notes on my trusted iPad. Let's go into this and let's have some fun. Okay, so let's jump into the roads. So the small roads, we've got 9 new small roads. That's right, I said 9 new small roads. And you don't even have to pay a buck for them. It's absolutely fantastic. There's 4 of the larger roads, and then there's the bus highways. I think there's 5 of them. So this is great, and these are all given to us for free, basically, along with the one-way metro. That's cool. That's a lovely feature. But as you can see on the screen now, you're looking at what is the menus on basic vanilla against now with the free patch. And as you can also see, if you are eagle-eyed enough, you'll notice that all the icons have been updated. They all match now instead of the different style of icons per DLC and per free patch. They now all match, which is absolutely fantastic. But nah, these are going to be so cool. Some of them are absolutely lovely. I'm going to go through them all one by one. See what you think. Because I'll tell you what, I'll tell you which ones are my favourite when you see them. They're going to be amazing. So let's start with the small roads. There's 9 of them, so there's a lot to go through. Just a disclaimer, I do have a custom theme running on my game at the moment, so yours might look slightly different, but the roads are still the same and the same function. Now the first one up, as you can see right now, is a small road, 2-way, with a big pavement. I think that's great. Now, I do think the props need to be a bit closer to the road, but overall they are fantastic. I do like them. Next one up is the one-way road. Now there's 2 lanes, 1 way. It's great, to be honest. Not highway, they're just really nice looking roads. They're one-way roads. There's 3 of them in total. There's this next one, which is a 3-lane version, and then finally the 4-lane version. All good, all great additions to your city, which is absolutely amazing. Now the best addition to the city, I think, in the roads, and definitely my favourite, is this one. This 4-lane road. 2 roads, 2 lanes even, either side, both ways. That's cool. Before, you only had it with a median down the middle. Now you've got it without. You had to have mods to do it before. This is coming to console as well, so you'll be able to get these great roads that look amazing in your city. I'm really looking forward to it, I'm sure you are too. After that is just, again, back to the 2 lanes, but this one's with a concrete median down the middle. I think having the medians on the 2-lane roads is a cool idea. Before we had it down the sides, now down the middle. I think it's great. It's concrete. Next one up is the same, but grass. Of course, we need to have that variety in there, which is great. And then number 8 would be the same again, but with trees down the middle. Now this is gravel. I would have preferred it to be grass personally, but the gravel does make more sense when it comes to realism. And yes, I did change the trees to the lovely Mr. Mason trees that we got in the previous patch, because they look so good, they're so phenomenal. And finally, we've got this one with the bus lanes in. I love a good bus lane road me, and you'll see that being a major feature in this free patch. Okay, so up next is the large road. All these are 6-lane roads, free either way, and they look just absolutely lovely. First one's with a concrete median, because why wouldn't you have concrete median in the middle of a road? Then followed up by grass median, because, you know, grass and concrete. You like to have a bit of variety throughout. Be interesting to see how these connect. Do they merge? They leave a big crosswalk in the middle. I imagine they leave a crosswalk, but for our PC players, there are mods that can help with that. For console players, I'm sure it'd still look amazing. It'd be nice to have these new additions to your game. Closely, it's followed up by the bus lanes. So the bus lanes take the 6th lane, so the 3rd outside lane on each side. But you've got trees down the middle as well, which again I think is a great option. It is gravel too. Fine, I'll accept it. I would prefer grass, but gravel's not too bad. And finally, if you don't want those bus lanes, drop them off. We'll just give you the 6-lane road with trees down the middle. Okay, so finally we're coming on to the expressway, motorway, freeway, highway, whatever you want to call it, all the ways that we can have. But these ones are special because they're buses. For buses, I think it's great. The ability to be able to have buses to travel in between towns and cities based on one map just opens it up a little bit more for little individual areas. I think that's great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this looks in game. And well, if you look at the screen now, you'll see what it looks like in game. This is the one way. They're all one way, obviously, being highway, freeway, motorway, expressway, whatever you want to call it, any other way. This is what they are. This is the single one, followed up by the double, so you've got 2 lanes. I like it, but I prefer the 1-lane version. I think that has more practicality than 2 of them. And then you've got, again, the 2 as well, 2-lane version with the sound barrier, because it is a motorway, expressway, freeway, highway, whatever you want to call it, any other way. And it makes a lot of noise, so the sound barrier is going to help there. Then you've got my favourite version. This one is standard highway, expressway, motorway, freeway, whatever you want to call it, any of each way, with a bus lane. So 3 lanes, one of which is a bus lane. Perfect. I love it. I think it's absolutely amazing. And then we've got it again with the sound barriers on as well, because it's got 3 lanes worth of traffic, one of which being buses. It's going to be very noisy, I would say. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I think these are great additions to the game. I cannot wait. Okay, with the roads done, there's one more thing I need to show you because it's absolutely amazing. Remember those above ground metros? How cool they were when they came in? Sunset Harbour? They were awesome. Now you've got a single lane version. 1 track, expressway. It's going to be amazing. Lovely metro, lovely addition, well done. On screen you can see all 3 variants. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And it's such a cool feature to have. And it's something that's been welcome and wanted for a long time. So thank you so much for that. I think that's amazing. Well done. Okay, so now we've looked at the roads and we've looked at the one-way metro. All fantastic things that have been added into this free patch. But one thing that wasn't mentioned was the ability to quit the game directly after saving. I think that's a great feature. It's a great option to have. It's something we didn't ask for, but it's something we definitely needed. As always, there is a number of bug fixes and issues that have been prepared and sorted out, available in this free patch to everybody with the base game. Now, I'm not going to go through them all. I'm going to mention a few that I think are really cool, and the rest of them I'll just display on the screen so you can read them at your own leisure. They are some really nice ones, some that I don't quite understand myself, maybe because I've never seen the issue, or maybe because I've never made a road, but we will see. So the first one for me is the ability to now turn off intercity trains. That was something that was a pain. It came along with the same bug that had the disable university boost button. You couldn't turn them off. I don't know why, but I'm glad that's now been fixed and we can do that. For the ride community, for everyone who's skinning all those buses, and you might want to do some more planes, because you did some and they look great. Now all those plane models are kind of working perfectly and displayed correctly in the asset editor, which is really, really cool. Again, as always, general quality of life things, and spelling mistakes have been corrected. They've corrected names and stuff in the simplified Chinese to actually display correctly, because they weren't displaying correctly in the first place. But that's all been fixed now. A few other little buttons that were disappearing have all been fixed now, which is great. Important ones in my view, and these are the most important ones, that's how I look at it. The chirp button in the asset editor no longer disappears, it stays there all the time, because we all know we need our chirps while in the asset editor. It's important, it's there, it's fixed. The other one is people sitting down on the modern table set. Now they're going to do it correctly. I think that's really cool, because it would be weird if they were facing the wrong way, right? You imagine if I did the video with my back there, the back of my head too. I know it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't mess something up. So there you go. But imagine that, it'd be weird, right? So lucky enough, Paradox and Colossal Order, I've got on that and they fixed it for me. So it's all good. I can look the right way now, which is amazing. There's been some general issues in the game where this error kept coming up saying duplicate requested item details. I don't know what it was, but it crashed the game constantly. It was a pain in the bum, don't know why it happened, but that's been fixed now, so it shouldn't happen. And you can now select all the correct vehicles in the vehicle selection UI if you've got obviously the vehicles pack, because if you don't, it doesn't show up, but if you have, then you can do it as well. That is loads and loads of features. There are some more fixes as well. As I said, I display them all on the screen because there's a lot of them. Some of them I don't truly understand. I'm sure someone will. Editing Secure here. I'm just quickly jumping in to say we're celebrating 1K. 1K subscribers, which is fantastic. Thank you so much to everybody for subscribing to me and showing your support. But to celebrate that, along with the release of Plazas and Promenades, which is coming very soon, I've heard, we are giving away a free copy of the DLC to one of you. All you need to do is to watch all 3 of these videos and then like every single one, and then come back here, comment on what you're looking forward to the most in the new DLC. And while you're there, you might as well comment on all the other videos and subscribe to the channel. And then all you need to do is to pop over to Saturday's live stream to see who the winner is. If you don't show, you don't come, I'll reach out to you. Good luck to every single one of you, and enjoy the new DLC when it drops. Okay, so let's get started then. So, as the way I'm doing this today is a little bit different to how I normally do a video. I'm actually going to do it with you, and we're going to have a look and experience the whole DLC together and see exactly what's going on. And I'll talk through it as we do. Now, I've got this random little street just to bring people into the actual city, or this road. It's not really a city, is it? But we're going to go in, start by building the pedestrian area, and then look at all the features and all the extras that come with it. Now, to start off with, we're going to need to build one of the service buildings, one of the 6 new service buildings that all function slightly differently. Now, like I said, there are 6, as you can see here. We'll start off with the small pedestrian area service point, and then the large version. Then there's the small cargo service point, the large version, then the small garbage service point, and then of course, as always, a large version. Now, each one of these would function slightly differently. The garbage one, they deal with garbage, basically. They do have a select amount that they can do per week, which we'll go through a bit later on. The cargo, deal with cargo. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but the service areas, the pedestrian area service points, deal with both, but in a smaller amount. So they're multiple use, but not as much of them, which is it's pretty good actually. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use one of those pedestrian service areas, and we're going to start off our pedestrian area. Now there's two ways to do this. The first way is use one of those service buildings that we just went through. You can pop them down and they will open it up for you, which I will show in a moment. Or if you wish, you can go into the districts and areas menu and draw one out. You can just draw out the space that you want and job's good. However, each pedestrian area does require some service buildings to actually service them. We start getting random trucks and everything down there anyway, so I do recommend you start off with this way. Kind of think of it like a park entrance or something like that we've used before, like the zoos and stuff. So that's how I see it. Now you can start off with by going down to the Parks and Plazas button down here, so go into that menu, and then you're given a few different new options. The first one is the one I'm on now, which is the pedestrian area, and afterwards is the pedestrian area plazas, which we'll come on to a bit later on. And then you've got content creator back at the end, which again is something we'll be coming on to later. It's a little sneak peek there of some of the extra stuff that is in there. Absolutely great. We're going to start off here with the large pedestrian area service point. I'm going to pop that down here. As you can see, that's giving me now that blue little mark, or green depending on what you see, or turquoisey, just to start off my area. So I can then go into here and extend that out. Now that's a bit of a weird one, just like a giant circle. I'll make the brush a bit smaller. We're just going to start off with a nice pedestrian point. There we go. Okay, now one of the really cool things about these new pedestrian areas, if you click on the name, it's a bit of a weird name I know, but it's the new menu and everything that's available in this. Now there is some extra bits in here that I do want to quickly go through. One is your happiness, very similar to the general city happiness. Your entertainment, again, very similar. And these are goals that you're going to be working to, and they're going to improve the land value bonus that you get from your pedestrian area, which is exactly what we want. We want that all completely full, making the monies. Now, after that, you've got the zone squared required for area focus. Now, this is the amount of people that come visit the area, what you've actually got put down in that area, and as you can see written there, it says the minimum amount of zoned squares placed on the pedestrian streets to require this area of focus. For an area focus. Now, they are zoned, not just placed. You can't just place it, you have to physically zone, and we'll show you that as we go, and that'll help you unlock things and get things together. Then you've got the service point usage. Now, I mentioned before they only have a certain amount, and as you can see there, cargo and garbage, you've got cargo trucks, you've only got 15 per week, per calendar week to use to deliver cargo. So you don't want them all going out at the same time. Hopefully it's very similar, it's not similar, sorry, to the way industries worked, and there was trucks going with about one bit of cargo in each. Hopefully they do kind of go into this place, they load it up and they will deliver it at once. Now, I've had a good play and I've pretty much only seen one or two trucks come out of these buildings, so I think that is exactly what's going on. The same with the garbage, you've got 10 a week. It's not many, but they do one trip a week, 10 trucks going out, picking up all the garbage. Very similar to home, where they only pick them up once a week anyway. You've got the maintenance cost down the bottom. This is how much this area is costing you to run. This entire area, obviously per week as well. The tourist count, so how many people are visiting, because it is an attraction. People do come here, people do have a look. And then you've got the size. So this is 7,356 sales, and that does go into the entertainment per sale. So how much entertainment is per each sale? 7,000 is a lot. Now we're going to policies. We've got 4 new policies. First one is slow driving. What this basically does is this slows down the traffic limit for the main sort of roads, which are, you know, a normal road, not a pedestrian path, within that area. So if I basically take our pedestrian zone and I extend it across this entire road here, like so. If I decide to use that option, I'll automatically slow this road down to 20. So it's slowing them down, decreasing the noise pollution, which is actually great. Now it doesn't apply to the highways, so they'll come in nice and fast, but it is a cool little feature to have. That way no one's rushing around, especially as there are a lot of people crossing the roads around pedestrian areas. So it's a bit quieter, a bit nicer, especially if you've got the pedestrian area near the seafront. That would be quite nice, I think. Now you've also got the sugar ban as well, which is a bit of a weird one, but I do kind of like it. and increases the average lifespan of your citizens, which is something that's really cool. Hopefully stop some death waves, but we'll see. And it does this by about 20%, but it also increases the crime rate because, you know, they're smuggling candy bars. Okay, I love that little line at the bottom there, but it's just, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but it's kind of cool. Then you've got street music, which increases the happiness in any commercial zones. It's kind of like busking, where they're standing outside of little shops, playing their guitar, doing a bit of singing or whatever they're doing, playing piano. I saw that on YouTube. It was a bit weird, but you know, they do all this stuff, and that increases the happiness, but also increases the noise pollution. I think that would work really well with the slow driving one as well. I'm going to select it because I think that looks cool. Deliver everything will allow all buildings within this area to get cargo delivered, and the garbage service via the service point. This is what we want. What we don't want is people to be running in and out, trucks to go all over the place. Because we've got a service point available in our pedestrian area, because we've got a service point, what we want is that to actually work on anything we put inside this pedestrian area. Even if it is a standard road, which will normally be covered by normal traffic. So we don't want that. We want them to always, no trucks everywhere. We want it to be nice and quiet. We just want this cargo area and the service point to actually deliver. So I'm going to click on that as well. And then of course, as always, you've got your unlocking options. Now I've already got these unlocked, but each one has something different as you go. So the small cargo one is to have 5 cargo trucks per week visit your area. So when you start this area, you're only going to start with service points anyway. And then we're going to go more specific as we go. And we've got garbage, it's the same, but with garbage trucks, and it's only 3 this time instead of 5. The large pedestrian area service point, again 12, but there are several different ones as you go to do different things. And then you've got your plazas as well, which are really nice, and they're all to do with that land value per cell throughout the entire build you have, along with the specific unique buildings, which I'm not going to go through in total now because I'm going to have a closer look at them later, along with the plazas too. Okay, so now we've got your standard pedestrian area set up, ready to go. We're going to start putting down some stuff in it and have a look to see what they have to offer. Now we have to start with the pedestrian roads. Now this is what I'm going to use. You don't need to, you can just use the normal road, because we do have all those extra functions on. We've got the slow road, so they're going to be moving slowly, and we've got deliver everything, so no big trucks and stuff like that coming down there, just the one from the service point. But I'm going to use these because I love these. Now there is 6 different types altogether, 3 lots of small, 3 lots of large, and they come in 3 different varieties. You've got the sandstone, you've got the bluestone, and the cobblestone. I'm going to go through all 3 of them with you now. So what we've got is we've got the sandstone, which is very nice. Then we've got the bluestone, which, you know, to be fair, doesn't really look blue, but I realise that's just the type of stone it is. And then of course you've got the cobblestone as well. Now all of them will come in different varieties. They come in 5 varieties in total. You've got the normal ones, as you can see there, along with the grass down the side, grass with the trees down the side, then the one with the planters in the middle, which holds a special place in my heart. And then finally, for the 5th one, you've got the one with the bus lane. Now they all come in small, and then they come in the larger roads as well. Okay, so we're going to start off by using the sandstone bus lane. Sandstone one is my favourite, I'll be honest, although I do like the cobblestone. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to draw that as we would a normal road. The first thing you'll notice is the bollards. So it cuts off completely, which is great. Sticks a set of traffic lights on and then gives you that bus lane in the middle. And only buses will travel down that, of course emergency vehicles as well. Now if you use one without the bus lane, so let's say we don't use the bus lane and we just use the one with nice trees or stuff down the middle there. There you go, the planters. The bollards will come across. Now as you can see from there, they are slightly down, and if I start the simulation you can see those bollards are completely down, and there they go, and they rise. As a service vehicle or a police vehicle or anything like that goes through there, they will drop and then re-rise again. It's fantastic. I mean, it's the best feature in this entire DLC, to be honest with you. I love it. So now we've set this up, and these good things about these pathways is they are all zonable. So you can zone them, we can put buildings on the side of them. Yes, vehicles can't get to them because with the way we set this up, but you can still put anything around there you wish. Now the cool thing about this area is you're going to kind of want to use the new features, I think. just to make it look absolutely amazing. Now you could use the new content creator packs, which look really good in these type of areas, or you can use the new wall-to-wall feature, which I think is absolutely amazing. It's definitely one of my favorites. Now the wall-to-wall feature allows you to have all the new buildings which were released in this DLC, and trust me, there's a lot of them. I'll show you them in a moment. Allows you to put them down so they literally sit wall-to-wall. They look absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to stick a load of these down and let's get started. So before these actually start coming in, what I will show you to do to use that wall-to-wall feature, you're going to go into your districts and areas menu, and we're going to use the standard district. Now I know I mentioned you cannot overlap any of these, which you can't, but the standard districts you can. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select this and we're going to build in a district. It's called Maple Square, and then we're going to go into our residential specialization. I'm always getting my words wrong, but hey, that's why we come here. I'm going to click on that, and then we've got the new one here, which is wall-to-wall. Now to use the wall-to-wall feature, you would select this and then just click, and you'll see a little icon come up. You've got one for offices, one for residential, and one for commercial. Now you must make sure you only zone the high density buildings. It doesn't work on low density. Okay, so now that's all been built, let's go in and have a look. So this is the new wall-to-wall feature. As you can see, the buildings are literally wall-to-wall all the way down, which is great. There's no gaps. You do get the odd gap where, like here, there's a gap underneath, but that's just the style of the building. And I love these buildings because there's lovely murals down the side. They're absolutely fantastic. They do vary between building to building. So if you've got two buildings exactly the same, there's two there. They are the same building, just slightly different colours, different murals. But let's say you want to extend this area a little bit, because we've got other buildings, we've got the plazas that we actually want to look at, which are the namesake of the DLC, so we do want to look at them. So let's extend that. Let's go for a small one, and we're going to start here. We're going to go down that little gap because it makes sense, right? And then we've got that extra button that I mentioned earlier, pedestrian area plazas. We're going to go in there and we're going to have a look at all the new plazas. There are 10 of them in total, which is great. There's 6 normal, and then there's 4 that go over the roads. I will show you them, they're really cool. Okay, they look great, don't they? They're really nice. I love the ones that go over the road. And as I mentioned in my reaction video before, I did say to City Skylines Paradox and Colossal Order that I wanted these fountains to be animated, and if I unpause, you'll see they definitely are animated fountains. I absolutely love it. I think they look fantastic. They are really cool. It's a nice little feature that they put in there for me. Well, not for me particularly, but I'm going to take credit for them. I think it's a great idea. But we put a few different plazas down, and they're definitely going to help with the happiness in this area. So for info, you can see the happiness at 41%, and the entertainment value is starting to come up, which is really good. And this is what we're needing to, one, earn more money for the area, and to unlock all those extras. Now, additional extras that you do get for this, which are fantastic, is the high capacity buildings, which are amazing. There's so many good ones. And we're going to go through them all, each individually, and we're going to show you, because we can put them down in this pedestrian area if we want to. I don't know why you would, but you might want to. First one is a high capacity hospital, which is an absolutely lovely building. After that, we have the high capacity fire station. And then after that, of course, we have the high capacity police station, which, if you ask me, isn't really high capacity. It looks rather small, but it's still a lovely building. And then we have the education as well. Now you've got the high capacity elementary school, which is a lovely building. The high capacity high school, so a lovely building. And then of course the high capacity university, which is one of my favorites. I do love it. Now, as I mentioned when I watched the trailer for this, the school that I really liked the look of was the elementary one. I like that big open area in there. I think it looks fantastic. The detail to these buildings is amazing, considering they're just going to be popped into the game. And they're not additional workshop stuff, so all available to absolutely everyone. And I'm going to show you all the individual stats of each one, so you can see what the difference is between the original and the new high capacity, because I think they're freaking great. Should be on your screen now. Okay, so that was the new high capacity buildings. Some really nice models there. They do look absolutely amazing. And they are all coming within this DLC. Now, along with them, as everything that you do get in any DLC, is a new set of unique buildings, which can be found by going through the unique buildings button down here, and then over to the pedestrian area landmarks. There are 6 of them in total, and they do require different things to unlock. Now, the first one you've got here is the marketplace. Marketplace that's absolutely fantastic. It's the one I really wanted, mainly because of the squirrel with the donut on the front, but it is also completely modelled inside as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And this one does require 350 weekly tourists in your pedestrian area to unlock. Once you've reached that, you'll unlock this building, be able to put it down anywhere in your city. Okay, so the next one actually requires less, and that is the museum. For some reason it is second on the list. Now this is the Museum of Postmodern Art. Kind of fits with the rest of the look here with the murals down the side, and this one requires 250 weekly tourists in your pedestrian area. Once you've got that, you can pop that down anywhere in your city or within your pedestrian area. I think that'll make a really nice central landmark. It looks kind of funky, it's kind of cool. I like it. Okay, so the next one's the last one that requires weekly tourists. This one requires 500 weekly tourists in your pedestrian area, and this is the Sunken Plaza. It's like a little shopping plaza, which is really cool and looks absolutely fantastic. It really does. Different levels on this one. I think this is a great idea. It's very cool, very nicely modelled. I can't wait to watch people walking around on the different areas. I think it would look absolutely amazing. Okay, and then after that you have the 3 specific ones, and these ones are commercial, residential and an office landmark, which I think is really cool. It's a bit new. You've got the commercial zone landmark here, and then you've got the residential zone landmark, and then the office zone landmark, which just don't function as they do. They're just unique buildings. That one's not a shopping centre, one's not a big block of flats, and one's not a massive office. They're just unique buildings, but they do look kind of cool. Now the commercial one, which I do absolutely think is lovely, and I specifically like this fountain thing at the end here. That's really cool. This one requires 20,000 weekly sales in the pedestrian area, so the more shops you have around here, using that wall to wall would increase and get close to that building. The next one is a residential one, which is nice. I like the mural down the side, but the building itself, it's not really my style, but it is very interesting. The different levels, it is kind of cool. That one requires 2,000 residents in the pedestrian area. Again, the more of these buildings you're popping down, the higher it is, because remember they are all high residential. And then you've got the office one. I do like the office one. It's a bit different. I like the fact it's got a little plaza next to it. That'd be pretty cool. And the mural is kind of fancy as well. And that one requires 2,000 jobs in the pedestrian area. So again, anything that requires work, whether it be from industry or offices, I would use the offices in the pedestrian area personally. And you can do that again by using that wall to wall. Okay, so just stepping away from the pedestrian area for the moment, because we've got some additional things that were given to us in this. And of course, we've seen the roads already, and obviously that new metro track, the one-lane metro track that I mentioned in my previous video. If you've not seen that, it'll be on the screen somewhere, or there'll be a link down below for you to look at. Now, that's a really cool video, and I go through all the individual roads that we get in the free version of this DLC, because they're all in there, not in here. But you need this one in the paid version to get the buildings that come with it, and there are some really nice ones. So you go into your transport button as you would normally, and your first one is your bus centre. So you've got your new compact bus station, pretty cool. When we go to the metro, we've got an elevated metro station, a brand new one with shops in it. I think that's quite cool. They don't function as shops, it's just one building, it's a metro station. We haven't quite got multiple use buildings in this yet, but hopefully soon. Of course, those one-way metro tracks that we mentioned before. And then you've got two actual metro stations. You've got the parallel metro station, which has just got two lines next to it. It's a standard station, if you ask me, with two tracks. And then you've got the larger underground metro, which kind of works like an interchange of metro. They go across each other. And then finally, you do have the new train station as well, which is pretty nice to have. We always want more train stations. These fit with the theme that we've got currently going in this whole area. So even these will look kind of nice in this pedestrian area. And I'll show you what I mean. So if we go into the metro and we go, I'm going to go with this nice big one here, which is the one that crosses, and we're going to stick it down. Let's go right there. Sorry buildings, we're going to get rid of you. And as you can see, it fits nicely in the whole area. It doesn't stand out, kind of fits in nicely. You don't need to use that new old one that we had before. These kind of fit the area quite nice, and I think they're kind of cool. Along with all those features and those extra buildings that we've just looked at and the features within this area, there are some extra cool bits as well. There's 5 new maps, which I did a video about previously. Again, it'll be on the screen somewhere, probably there or there. I keep forgetting my camera's the other way around, so it's probably nearish. If not, then it'll be down in the description. A little card up the top as well. It's that way, isn't it? I'll figure it out eventually. But there's a little card on the screen, so you can have a look at that as well. So there's the new maps. That's about standard with a DLC. One thing that is kind of cool, kind of extra, which I actually love, is we've got some new chirpers as well. So we're going to turn Anarchy off to be able to actually look at this for you. And then we're going to click into the chirp. Click on the little button here. Let's have a look. So we've got 2 new ones. We've got the one with the little chef's hat on, which is really cool. So it's a little chef's hat. It's more of a, it's like a party hat. I don't know. It's a hat. They both got hats on. And then you've also got the one with the nice big hat on. I love that one. I think that's the better one. So we've got the 2 new chirpers, which I think is pretty cool. along with a bunch of new chirps that kind of fit the actual area, like this one here that's on screen now. So the city's new large garbage service point is a real lifesaver. They're very specific to this area, to this DLC. They're pretty cool. I really like them. Okay, so that's everything this DLC has to offer. There's some great stuff in it, don't you think? But along with that, we've got 2 extra new radio stations, and we've got 2 content creator packs. Now, I haven't got my hands on the radio stations yet, but they do sound pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to hearing them, because they're anything like previous ones, they're going to be absolutely amazing. And they are the Shoreline radio, as well as Paradise radio. I think they all sound really cool. I do look forward to them. Then we've got the 2 content creator packs, which I did mention there. We've got the Mid-Century Modern and the Seaside Resort. Both of them absolutely fantastic. They look absolutely amazing. They'll be available at the same time as DLC is available. Of course, it is coming soon. We don't know when it's coming out just yet, but hopefully it'll be very soon, because I just want to get all this built into my cities. I've got some new ideas, some new products I'd like to try out. I'm really looking forward to it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in game very soon.